you log on to Dead by Daylight and you decide to try Wraith. You end up playing some matches, but like everyone, you get frustrated by pallets being dropped and survivors baiting you out with slow vaults only to run away again. Well, no more. In this video, we will explore a myriad of Wraith perk and add-on combos, playstyles, and techniques that will improve your skill as the Wraith. Welcome to How to Play as the Wraith. Wraith's power is the Wailing Bell, or more commonly known as the Bing Bong. If you hold down your power to Bing Bong, you will change between being cloaked and uncloaked. At the start of every match, the Wraith will start in a cloaked state. When you're cloaked, you gain the following effects. You become fully undetectable, your movement speed is increased to 6 meters per second, you're fully invisible to survivors who are further than 20 meters away, but you're partially visible to survivors who are within 20 meters of you. You become fully invisible when you're completely stationary and don't move for a while. And lastly, you cannot attack survivors when you're cloaked. When you uncloak, you will get a 1 second speed boost which can allow you to lunge swing at survivors to get extra distance. And that's really about it for his power. It's quite simple. But what are the best ways to use Wraith's power? Here are 3 things to keep in mind: positioning, mind gaming, and line of sight. These 3 things are essential with getting hits on survivors. Let's talk about positioning. If your positioning is off when you uncloak, then you'll find yourself chasing survivors who make it to a pallet or window vault just to bait you into uncloaking before they drop the pallet and speed away again. When you're approaching a survivor in the cloaked state, try to have an understanding of where the closest pallet or window vault is, so you can attempt to body block them from running towards that area as you uncloak. Running certain add-ons will help you with body blocking survivors, which we will explore later. Remember, Wraith is a stealth killer, so sneaking up close to survivors who are unaware of your presence and uncloaking will catch them off guard. For line of sight, when you're chasing a survivor at a loop, if there's a high wall, you can break line of sight with the survivor and uncloak behind it to quickly mind game and confuse the survivor with which way you're going. With the 1 second uncloak boost, you can launch towards the survivor and gain a hit before they drop the pallet. Wraith's bell doesn't make sound until 50% of the progression bar, so take that into account with your mind game. However, if the survivor is good, they will just run as far away from your uncloaking position as possible, and from there, I'm afraid it's just down to mind gaming at the right loops. At T&L tiles, I like to just stand still for 3 or 4 seconds behind the wall. It's something the survivors don't expect, and sometimes they run back towards where you've stopped, allowing you to peek out behind the wall and injure them. Lastly, you will come across survivors in chase who will just stand at a pallet and only drop it when you're about to uncloak. In these cases, just fill up the uncloak bar until about 80 or 90% without fully uncloaking. At that stage, the survivor will drop the pallet, leaving you kick it and catch right back up whilst you're still cloaked. In some cases, you'll have to switch up your tactics. Some survivors will be smart enough to know that you won't fully uncloak when they get to a new pallet, so they'll bait you out by making you think they will drop it, leaving you waste time pretending to uncloak. In these situations, you'll have to scrap the idea of fake uncloaking and just fully uncloak and go for the swing. Drumroll please! Let's introduce Wraith's god-awful perks. First up is Bloodhound, which shows the survivors pools of blood in a bright red colour. Woo! Game-changing perks, let's go! It also increases the length of time blood pools are visible by 4 seconds. I'm going to give this perk a 1 out of 10 rating. Next up, get ready to call Chris Hansen because perk 2 is Predator. Predator has been changed recently, so it's actually valuable now. Predator allows you to see the aura of a survivor who loses you in a chase for 4 seconds, with a cooldown of 40 seconds. This is better than the previous state of Predator, so I'll give this a 5 out of 10. Wraith's last perk is Shadowborn. When you are blinded by a survivor, Shadowborn grants you 10% haste for 10 seconds. I mean, this is not very exciting. Solid 4 out of 10, but at least we have an FOV slider now. But excluding Wraith's unique perks, what are the best perk builds to run whilst playing as the Wraith? Bamboozle is a very powerful perk on Wraith. I would nearly go as far as saying it's necessary. So we're going to put together Superior Anatomy, Bamboozle, Scourge Hook, Pain Resonance, and Dark Arrogance. This is a great build for faster vault speeds and blocking off vault locations. Superior grants you 40% speed, Bamboozle is 15%, and Dark Arrogance grants you 25%, to give you a combined total of 80% faster vaulting. Running this build with the add-ons Swift Hunt Blood and Swift Hunt White to give you 22% faster uncloaking speeds can work great together. A second build for Wraith could be Nowhere to Hide, Pain Resonance, Nurse's Calling, and Grim Embrace. Nowhere to Hide and Pain Resonance will work together for gen regression and finding survivors fast. Nurses is great for sneaking up on survivors healing when you're doing a hit and run playstyle. Grim Embrace will slow down the progression of gens for 10 seconds with each token gained, and an additional 40 seconds when the last token is gained, plus it will reveal the Obsession's aura to you for 6 seconds. Match these perks up with the Blind Warrior White and Shadow Dance Blood add-ons, and you'll demolish pallets faster and leave survivors mangled and hemorrhaged for 70 seconds. This can be a great build for a hit and run playstyle. If you're struggling with this build, maybe swap Nurse's Calling for Bamboozle. Build number 3 can be Bamboozle, Pain Resonance, Deadman Switch, and Eruption. Deadman Switch, Pain Resonance, and Eruption are only for gen regression. Match these perks up with Swift Hunt Blood and Windstorm Blood for 12% faster uncloaking and 9% faster movement when you're cloaked. These add-ons can really help with body blocking survivors from pallets. Alternatively, you could swap out Windstorm Blood for Shadow Dance Blood. Shadow Dance will increase your action speed by 60% for things like kicking gens, vaulting, and breaking pallets whilst you're cloaked. This can help you with creating a dead zone on the map, one area of the map that you can defend and destroy all the pallets in that area. Looking at the Wraith's add-ons, which ones work best together? First up, we'll match the Coxcombed Clapper with the Ghost's Soot. The Coxcombed Clapper completely silences the sound of your bell, and the Ghost's Soot suppresses your red stain and terror radius for 6 seconds after uncloaking. With these add-ons matched up together, you can sneak up on survivors working on a generator, uncloak behind the wall, and you should be able to land a hit on one of the survivors. For the second set, we'll match up Shadow Dance Blood with Shadow Dance White. These combine to make 100% increased speed to kicking pallets, walls, generators, and vaulting while you're cloaked, so you can get right back to chasing survivors as fast as possible. For the third set, Windstorm Blood and Swift Hunt Blood combine well to help you with body blocking survivors from pallets while you're cloaked. Just try and overtake them on the way to the pallet, body block them, uncloak, and you should be able to land a hit. Other add-ons that work well together are the Serpent Soot and Shadow Dance Blood, along with the perk Brutal Strength for faster kicking speeds, followed by instantly uncloaking. Lastly, we'll discuss various playstyles you can use as the Wraith. The first playstyle is the hit and run method. We've mentioned it a few times in the video, so here it is. Using this playstyle, you will be injuring one survivor and then cloaking to go and injure another, which will result in survivors spending more time healing rather than gen repairing. This method is probably the best to use when you have Corrupt Intervention in your build. Remember, Corrupt Intervention goes away when a survivor gets downed, so you will want to try and injure as many survivors as possible before you down someone for the first time in the match. Body blocking is another strategy that can land you a hit. While you're cloaked, you will have to try and block the survivor from getting to the closest pallet or vault that they're pathing to. Once they're blocked off, you can begin to uncloak and get that long lunge boost hit. However, this could cause some problems depending on the size of the loop you block, or a different pallet being nearby for the survivor to divert to. Now you know how to play as the Wraith. Folk, that is the end of the video. Thank you very much for making it this far if you've come to the end. I'd love to hear from you in the comment section. Do you love Wraith? Do you not like Wraith? Do you find them frustrating? Do you find them boring? Do you think I've missed anything in this video that would be helpful to somebody who is new to playing Wraith? Let me know. Until next time, peace out, Girl Scout. Bye bye.